Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Q&A with us, the British Fist.
Catching!
Mr. Parkin here, NJ here.
What's up?
And I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Looks like Wade Barrett might be leaving the WWE. Well, actually, could be good news. I mean, they're not using him anymore. I'll let you grieve, NJ. If you want to ask more questions, please put them in the comment section below if you can hear me. We'll start off this question, this Q&A, with a question from Michael Murray. It's actually a WrestleMania 32 card, and I'm guessing that he wants us to know, he wants us to tell us what we think of his WrestleMania 32 card. So we'll go with this: the New Day versus the Usos versus the Lucha Dragon three-way tag team match for the titles.
The reason I do that is because even though it's a triple threat, I think
seen
three.
it. Like,
yes,
we've seen them all face off, and it's just kind of get a new tag team in there.
Yep.
Include Enzo and Cass in there, you've maybe got a buyer.
And as of Raw just gone, or 2 weeks ago now, maybe it's only a temporary thing, put Jericho and AJ as a possible tag team.
The Wyatt family versus the Dudley Boys. Well, I mean,
it's not a match we haven't seen.
We have seen that. We saw a tables match, didn't we? It was the Dudley Boys and some of the Usos or something, wasn't it? But the Wyatt family, I mean, they're on the level of the fucking Dudley Boys right now. The way they've been booked, they lost to Ryback, Kane, and Big Show. So why not play the face of the Dudley Boys? No, something bigger for the Wyatt family, please. The Rock versus Triple H. I mean, it would have made sense about 6 months ago, but now Rock isn't going to be there, and Triple H is in I think, a better storyline with Roman Reigns.
Rock's going to be at Mania, but not wrestling.
That's what I meant, not wrestling.
Well, I'm doing sideways because without the rumours of him not wrestling, now that Triple H is champion, I think, it's nostalgia, it's a big WrestleMania, and this match could have been blockbuster, having these two, but at the same time, nostalgic isn't where we're at anymore in the WWE. It's about putting the talent over, or should be about putting the talent over to create new stars. So to have two of the biggest names against each other cancels down two wrestlers to do that.
Undertaker versus Sting. I mean, again, when Sting was in WWE, I would have said, yeah, why not? They haven't got anyone else to face the Undertaker, so why not have Sting face the Undertaker? Yeah, you say, yeah, Shane McMahon, yeah, woo, yeah, but why the fuck would I believe Shane McMahon is going to beat Undertaker? I don't understand it.
He's not meant to beat him because due to what
Vince was doing. That's the point. We're supposed to actually be able to believe that Shane McMahon can beat Undertaker. And why would I fucking believe Shane McMahon can beat Undertaker? Oh yeah, Shane McMahon's back. Yeah. What? To lose to the Undertaker?
Yeah, that was Vince's plan. That's Vince's plan.
Oh, then what's the point in bringing him back? None. This is my problem. This is why I can't stand WWE and why I don't want to watch it. Oh yeah, Shane McMahon's back. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, everyone's going to mark out until they realise it's pointless.
But as for Sting, I think, again, I wouldn't mind seeing this match because if it's going to be their last match, why not have done it at this WrestleMania? But
Dean Ambrose versus Del Rio, US title and IC unification match. Kevin Owens versus Dolph Ziggler. Ooh. I'm going to say no. I'm sorry. I think Dean Ambrose should be higher on the card. I'm all in favour of a unification match. And I guess you could do Del Rio, Owens and Ziggler in a triple threat for that. But why would I want Dolph to get anywhere near a mid-card title at the moment? Why?
For Ambrose, I think, I've said this many times before, he still needs something in his career that specialises him. And if he's the one to unify the mid-card championship, I don't see why not. That would have been something special. But as we know, he's going off to face Lesnar. As for Kevin Owens versus Dolph, no. I know this question's old, but they've done it so many times now.
Maybe it is old, but I'm sorry. Even 6 months ago, I still would have poo-pooed it. I'm sorry. Sheamus and Wade Barrett versus Ryback and Kane. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to poo-poo that as well.
I think Kane, again, he's had WrestleMania moments where he's won and put people over and stuff, but he's not someone exciting enough to be in a match that's going to excite people.
I don't think an explanation is necessary.
Oh, no.
WWE World Heavyweight title, Fatal 4-Way, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, John Cena, Brock Lesnar. I think the only problem with that is you're going to be putting too many eggs in one basket. If I see those four guys, I'm going to want to make two big matches out of that and not just one big match.
I'm looking at this. You've got the four big names that, you know, you would expect to be a draw, and you've got possibly feuds going on in that match. But yeah, I agree. I think when it comes to WrestleMania, yes, you want to make sure the matches get enough time, but at the same time, when you've got 4 big names, you could make 2 big matches out of it.
Do you think it's bad when all the WWE have to get a guy over like Roman Reigns is Vince, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon? 3 characters for 1 guy, and these characters aren't even wrestlers. Is this the time to bring more youngsters up from NXT? I think it's bad that they have to rely on people such as Vince, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon to get a babyface over, and there's no legit... I mean, you could say Triple H is a legit heel, but he's not a 24/7 guy that's going to wrestle every week. And what characters are there that could be that sort of 24/7 top heel? I mean, God say, I mean, you could say Bray Wyatt, but he's not getting the booking. I mean, Rusev at one point was getting the booking. Nah. You know, so many heels have had the booking and just have fallen under the wayside, perhaps maybe because of the authority angle.
I'm a bit different with this question because the story for Reigns Triple H has been there for ages. So I think they could have done so much with that over the course of a year if they needed to. But to add the McMahon family in, yes, it makes it somewhat bigger because you're going up against the whole McMahon family. But, you know, they had to rely on more than just Triple H to try and get people to root for Reigns. So bringing in Vince and Stephanie was an attempt. It's worth a try because nothing yet has really worked to make fans care for Reigns.
I mean, my big question is, yeah, but what about after? What about when he goes through the authority? Then what?
Then that's it. They failed. You know, Reigns has not been put over even with the boss's family. So I think if this doesn't work after this year's WrestleMania, then to be honest, you've kind of hit a wall.
Type 1. 5 things that happen frequently in wrestling that take away its realism. Oh, there's plenty of things. People that hate each other doing in the same ring with a microphone talking and not kicking each other's ass.
A small fact of you have these big dominant moves like F5, and the guys you see them get up shortly after.
When people do their finisher, like, do you remember when Kurt Angle used to do the ankle lock about 5 times in a match? And then, like, on the 6th one, he would win. You know, again, just maybe not necessarily realism, but just from a wrestling standpoint.
Majority of what John Cena does.
Finishers don't matter anymore.
No.
I mean, AJ Styles apparently did the Styles Clash and that got a kick out, and then he won with a calf killer or calf crusher or whatever. Another thing that frequently happens in wrestling that takes away its realism. I think that just nonsensical writing. It's like people's characters not doing what a character would do. Like that takes away from the realism sometimes. And the way these storylines are done, like, oh, a guy comes out and cuts a promo and says, oh, I want a title shot. Oh, there you get a title shot. No, that's not how it happens in the real world. Like in MMA, you don't just come out and say, right, I want a title shot. You have to fucking earn it by fighting guys and winning matches. I think it would be hella more realistic if you had like a ranking system where you had to win a certain amount of matches to get a title shot from a realistic standpoint. And you got to remember that you do need some element of realism in wrestling in order for people to actually buy it and get emotionally invested in it. You don't get enough of that in WWE, and it is a very good question, Type 1. I could think of many other things. I could be here all day. Have you read any books from a WWE superstar?
Shawn Michaels, The Rock.
I've not read any. I'm not really into reading. If yes, which one would you recommend?
Again, Shawn Michaels, both of them, the Heartbreaking Triumph and his recent one. The Rock, yes, it's years and years old, but I think that was a really good book.
What are your top favourite wrestling shoots in the past 2 years? I've recently watched Vince Russo's History of the WWF 1998, and I thought that was very good. I've seen a shoot interview with Kevin Nash. I think that was Timeline History of WWE 94, which I thought was pretty good. There are a lot of shoot interviews out there that I find good. I mean, Jim Cornette's, just because it was for the pure entertainment value and the fact that he was bashing ROH, I thought that was pretty entertaining.
I'd go Paul Heyman, you know, when the whole ECW, WWF WWE kind of talk when he was going up against Vince.
Also, CM Punk was somewhat of a shoot. I mean, I know he got told to go out there and say it, but he was shooting from the heart, essentially. So,
well, Punk, that's going to be everyone's up there, top 3.
Well, I mean, I thought I'd go more sort of backstage,
that's the idea,
like actual planned shoot interviews as opposed to just wrestling shoots. Aaron Crace, what about Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson versus New Day for the WWE Tag Team Championship at Fastlane? Well, you wouldn't have enough time to build those two guys up. They'll be in NXT anyway, so it wouldn't have even if we answered this question a month ago, it wouldn't have happened. Even if they were signed right now, it wouldn't have happened. They're not going to get the title or the shot that quickly.
The way I see it is, yes, you could bring anyone into the WWE and they could win a championship on their first night, Santino Marella. So if the New Day say we've been the longest reigning champion, we beat everyone, I dare anyone to come out and face us, and someone like them come out, or Enzo Amore and Big Cass come out, and they win on that night, I don't see why not. I think it may lead to that because New Day have pretty much beat everyone, so they might do an open challenge.
Are they still the tag champs? Bloody hell. I mean, who else is there for them to face? Anyone?
That's why I think AJ and Jericho may have been enlisted right now. I don't know who's going to do it, but they're having to pair up 2 random wrestlers now. Like Goldust and R-Truth are meant to be getting together, so they're having to pair up 2 new people to possibly take the titles off them.
Would you like to see AJ Styles win the IC Championship and Finn Balor win the United States Championship? Why not? Why not?
Would like, again, everyone's been saying they would like to see any of the championships around AJ's waist because obviously he's AJ Styles, he's worthy of becoming a champion in the WWE. Finn Balor, yes, he won the NXT world champion, so he comes into the WWE, may have to start from the bottom instead of straight at the top. Him becoming US, I think, again, it's not really, I don't think it's doing much to the US belt, but he would, in my opinion, be worthy of coming into the WWE too and going towards one of the mid-cards.
NJ, do you have any more WWE and TNA shirts for sale?
About 2 or 3 left.
Go on, was it ebay.co.uk/NJ1989 or 1988? That's the one, yeah. So yeah, that's the link. That's the user profile if you want to have a look at some of his t-shirts. Do you think that CM Punk will go to TNA? Are you guys scared of Terminator NJ? Yeah.
Yes.
What questions would you ask Triple H and Stephanie McMahon? Would you employ Terminator NJ as your top heel?
That would be a big question to ask. My question would be, with the idea of you being the next guy to take over, the next couple to take over when Vince steps down, what are your first big plans for the company?
I suppose my question would be sort of what are your major plans for the future with this company? Not necessarily. You were more short terms. What's the first plan to do? But yes. I'm thinking more in like 5-10 years time. Where do you want the company to be? What audience are you going to try and grab at? Who are you planning on pushing? Who are you planning on making the face of your company? Just little things like that, just so I can see with confidence whether or not WWE could thrive as a company. I mean, they've got plenty of revenue streams right now, like the WWE Network and stuff like that. So, what else are they going to try and do to sort of nullify the fact that their TV at the moment is just not getting great ratings?
As much as that would attract fans because they could see a timeline. I think what fans may want to know first is, okay, you're in charge now. How are you going to get our attention straight away? What are you going to do to make us believe that you're going to be good for the future? So I think knowing their first planning order may pull fans in to listen to them more.
Ebro S. Why do you think fans are protesting Attitude Era-esque storylines? The fans really hated the recent edgy storylines like Undertaker versus CM Punk and Roman Reigns versus The Authority. Well, I think the only reason people hated the Roman Reigns versus The Authority is because they hate Roman Reigns, really. And the Undertaker CM Punk stuff, while that was edgy, it was playing on someone that died a month earlier. So I can understand why people may feel that was, a bit too edgy. especially when CM Punk, did obviously not his actual ashes, but dropped the urns ashes on the Undertaker to close the go-home show to WrestleMania.
The thing I think is the Attitude Era has come and gone, so I think fans have adapted to the PG stuff. So when Attitude Era stuff do suddenly happen, some stuff they're like, whoa, as much as I like that, whoa, I'm not used to this, So that comes a bit of a surprise factor, and maybe when they've had time to think about it and realise it's the WWE trying to make a match bigger than what it actually is. Whatever the reason is, I think it's the surprise factor to begin with before acknowledging why it happened.
And people love to complain as well. Let's not forget about that here on the YWC.
Oh, you're always complaining, Dan. Flip, just answer the question, all right?
Thoughts on Hulk Hogan suing Gorka over the sex tape? I don't even want to picture that, so I'm not going to answer that question.
No.
What did you think of Batista as Mr. Hinks in the new James Bond Spectre movie? Does he make a good villain? Well, he looks like a badass, so he would make a damn good villain. James Bond beat him, and British trumps American, but yeah, he was all right. He didn't say much, but I don't suppose his character wasn't really, to talk, was he?
This was a big deal for them to accept him into James Bond because of how big James Bond is, but I preferred him Guiding the Galaxy. Take my money.
Okay, well, how much?
However much it was worth to have Batista in such a big franchise.
Oh, you said take my money. I thought you meant give me money.
Oh, no.
Whatever. I'm finding it difficult to sit through these WWE pay-per-views in one sitting. With both 3 hours of pay-per-view and Raw, do you guys take 2 days to watch these shows like me? I just don't watch them. Don't know what you do.
Until, OK ends his Raw rundowns and stuff, I play it by the book, pay-per-view one night, then Raw the next night, and that's it. Yeah, it's a struggle, but at the same time, I have a reason and some enjoyment out of it. But until that gets completely cut off, I'd, end changing my ways.
Just do yourself a favour, EBOS, and just don't watch it yourself, and just watch other people's reviews of it. And it's so much better being on the other side. That's all I can say. That's what I do. I just see what other people think of it and go, glad I don't watch it. Johnny Haxerism 316. Do you agree with the whole notion that small guys under 6 foot can't be top guys? I don't agree with that notion necessarily. I think if you have a certain thing about you, if you're over and if you get the right crowd reaction, you can be a top guy if you're under 6 foot. I mean, I just think it's a lot easier to be believable as a top guy if you're massive.
Apart from Rey Mysterio, which I'm up and down about because of many different reasons about him, he was over and stuff, which made some fans want him to go far. But I think it's more the fact that he is too much of a small guy compared to the big guys, and the underdog thing got played too strongly for him. But compared to a bit bigger guys, I think it's nice that you're getting the chance to have something different to Vince's normal idea of who should be champion and stuff. So it gives a bit of variety, a bit of difference. So I think it does matter on the story of the smaller wrestler and the way he is in the ring against his opponents.
Who's the most underrated out of these two? Cesaro, Shelton, Benjamin. I mean, Cesaro hasn't really had a shot yet. I mean, at least Shelton Benjamin had some standout moments when he was in WWE, but I just think Cesaro hasn't really been given a chance yet to shine, which probably makes him more underrated.
I'm saying Cesaro because he's had matches against the top names in the WWE, but there's always been something in Vince's mind that's probably knocked him back down to a place where fans are disappointed because of who he's faced and what he's done. Shelton Benjamin, he was always on TV. He was always in matches that meant something and actually built him up. I'm not saying Cesaro is not properly built, but he's always been knocked back compared to Shelton, who kept going forward.
Yeah, and also he was in quite a successful tag team, obviously, and was, it was generally speaking the sort of the star in Money in the Bank ladder matches and stuff like that. Whereas when can we really say that Cesaro has really properly been spotlighted apart from the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, which then they did nothing with? Yeah. Next question. Which of these years was the worst for WWE? 2006, 2015, or 2012? Well, I'll just answer that question simply. I watched WWE in 2012. I don't remember much about 2006, but for me, the worst year has to be 2015 because it was the year I just had little to no interest in wrestling at all.
But 2006, I'd say I was okay with. 2012 was almost near the time when you went out of the British.
I went out sort of 2013, 14.
So it's
2012, I was still watching it.
And 15, yeah, I just didn't think it was working out for the WWE. No.
Anyway, that's the end of the Q&A. If you want to ask some more questions, make sure you put them in the comment section below, please.
Thank you very much for watching, people. This is the video that you tune in to see from the British Biz, because there's nothing else left. But tune in for next week, because there's going to be more questions to come, more answers to be said. And until next time, goodbye.